everyone, welcome to week 3 of your college algebra course. This week we're going to be looking at graphs of linear equations. Just kind of an FYI, the first thing that I want to make sure that you know about a linear equation is that it does not have any exponents in it. So if you see an exponent, it's not going to be a linear equation. So the first thing that they tell you about in section 2 of this chapter is what a linear equation could look like. So they talk about a couple different forms that you're going to see it in. You're going to see it in slope-intercept form, which is the y equals mx plus b. And then you're going to see it in standard form, which is ax plus by equals c. And the a, b, and c in the second equation, those just represent numbers. So they're going to be some number. And in the first equation, the slope-intercept form, the m and the b just represent a number in that particular example. So just kind of keep that in mind. You're not going to see all those letters in your equations. So the first thing that they're going to show you how to do is how to actually graph a linear equation. You're going to select a value for one variable, and then you're going to calculate what would be the other value for the other variable. And basically you're going to write them as an ordered pair, and you're going to use alphabetical order. So usually it's an x and a y, so x, y. And you want at least 3 points. You have to have 2 points to create a line. That third point is a checkpoint, so to make sure that you're on the right track. And then once you plot those ordered pairs, you're just going to draw a straight line going through those points. On your assignment this week, you're going to actually draw some lines. So you're going to not only come up with the points, but I actually need you to plot those as well. And I know that's kind of difficult to do in a Word document. So what you want to make sure you do is, write it out on regular paper. So when you're doing it, this is just an example, and I've tried to get this to move, but it just doesn't want to do it. So the x's and y's are in the first 2 columns. And then the ordered pair is in the third column. So you can see the ordered pair is 2, 6. And then the next one is 1, 3, 0, 0, -1, -3, and 2, -6. So once you pick those ordered pairs and plot them, you're just going to draw a line through them. And you can just freehand draw this, this graph on your paper. And you can take a picture of or scan your work, and you can turn that in. You don't have to do everything in a Word document. And I think that'll make things a little bit easier for you this week. So don't try to put a graph on a Word document. Just go ahead and handwrite everything and then turn it in like that. There's several different examples in this week's presentation where they go ahead and give you, a graph. An actual line, and they say graph this line, and you're just going to simply pick numbers. Pick numbers that are easy to work with. Excuse me. For example, the next one on here is y equals -4x plus 1. You can pick any number at all that you want for your x. And in this case, we just picked 3 easy numbers, a positive, a negative, and 0. That'll give you a really good idea of what the graph will look like if you do pick a positive, a negative, and a 0. So kind of keep that in mind. Use that kind of as your rule of thumb. And then here's an example of what's going to happen once you actually plot those points. You're going to put those in, and these are the 3 points right here in green, and then you'll just connect them using a straight line. Okay, typically we would just put arrows at the end to show that that's a line and it goes on forever. In addition, you're going to look at things called the y-intercept in this particular chapter. The y-intercept is where the line passes through the y-axis. So where it crosses the y-axis. We know that that point is always where x is equal to 0. So what that means is I can put 0 in for x and solve it, and that's going to always be my y-intercept. So here's an example. we're going to go ahead and graph this line. We can pick any numbers we want for x, but we know that if we put 0 in for x, that's going to be my y-intercept. So that's what this second set of ordered pair is here in this table. That's your y-intercept because x is 0. And then again, we chose whatever numbers we wanted for the other two values of x. And the reason they chose 4 on this one is so that that fraction will easily go away. When we take 1/4 times 4, it's just 1. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So it's just it's just ease. We pick the numbers that make the problem work the best. And this is just another example of solving when it's in standard form. So again, we can rearrange it. We can put it in standard form. And to do that, you're just solving for y. So you just want to get y by itself. So they show you how to do that. And then once you get y by itself, you put in 0 to find the y-intercept. And for this particular one, the intercept's going to be the the origin, 0, 0. If at any time over the week, as you're working on this, you have any problems with doing these graphs, please make sure you're reaching out to me. And I'm always available via email, text message. You can give me a call. My number is 618-792-2293, and have a great week.